And there's the gong.
All right, hey everybody. We're live. I think. I hope.
We are. I see us.
All right.
There.
All right. Hey, there we go. All right.
There's no microphone.
Oh my god. So this is Wednesday live stream, season 2, episode 27, because we're doing the dumb thing of naming them.
Because we track all of those things.
Yeah.
That's up to you. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I just show up and make a fool of myself.
It's for
whenever we talk
purposes.
about it. Yeah, whenever we talk about it, we're like, you remember on season 2, episode 15, when we talked about that one thing? That's why we do it.
Yeah. You're better than me. I can't even do that with TV shows I watch.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
So I'm Chris. That's Rob. That's Ryan.
I'm Rob.
And that's Joe.
Hello.
The invisible man over there.
This is CR Gamer. We're going to do some conversation about some games and stuff.
We're going to talk about some things.
Some things. What's up, Jazzy? How's it going?
Hey, Mel.
So, yeah, we're going to go over the Legacy Tournament a little bit more. So try to answer a few more questions. We're also going to talk about the open house that we're going to have, that Joe and I guess we're trying to help put on that for, what's the store that it's going to be at, Joe?
It's going to be at Boardwalk Games in Dallas.
Boardwalk Games in Dallas. So if you're in the DFW area, head on over to there on the 20th for a fun old time. And bring a friend. We're going to try to be all-inclusive for new people. So
we're going to have plenty of free-to-learn and free-to-play setups. We'll have 3 stations of the newest campaign box and team packs set up.
Is it going to be like Celebration Station?
Sure. But we're going to have all the different sets. We're going to have all the cards from the different sets made up into teams to highlight keywords and functions of the game, basic functions of the game. We're also going to have a few people who are nice enough to donate some spare cards and dice included from the starter sets that we've picked up over the years.
Show.
And then we have according to DM Armada, we're gonna have a full-on paid draft event, which means for $12 we're gonna draft out of the X-Men Forever campaign box along with the 2 team packs, and you get to keep whatever you draft.
Oh wow!
Nice. Take it home with you. You
cool.
expand your collection.
Just sneak out the door with it at that point.
We should have additional product coming in. The store owner, the shop owner, Will, told me that there has been more pre-ordered sets.
Nice.
To supply.
Nice.
So
yeah, if you're gonna be in town for that, if anyone's coming in for that, be sure to head out there. We're all gonna be there. Well, Ryan's not.
No, I'm gonna be on vacation down in Florida on the beach.
Yeah,
getting away from us.
Yeah, he chooses his family over us. Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
It's a short gap between you guys and last place, let me tell you.
I get that a lot. So yeah, Joe, you posted something on Facebook earlier under the channel thing, correct?
Did posted on our Facebook group. I posted in the Dice Masters Unlimited Facebook, and I posted in the DFW Dice Masters Facebook.
I believe DM Armada also posted it to the East Texas Facebook group.
Well, we both did.
Okay.
He clarified my post a little bit more, so.
Why don't you be more clear, Joe?
Yeah.
Man.
That's a big problem.
Lights are flickering a little bit with the storm going on. Oh, crap.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, there is a storm in the DFW area right now. I've already lost power twice in the hour previous to us going live. So if any of us randomly disappear or if the entire stream just goes offline, that means either one of us or Chris lost internet. So
yeah.
It's because of the government.
Yeah. Oh my God. Let's not get that started.
The weather machine, dude.
Government.
It's real.
So we're gonna talk about that next week a little bit more. So Joe, since you weren't on last week, did we miss anything on the Legacy Tournament talk, or do you think we nailed it completely like we always do?
Yep, like we always do.
Or any further clarifications that need to be made?
Yeah.
There was a couple of questions about the first round of Swiss that we're gonna have, which we did manage to clear up in the Discord. But I'm gonna go ahead and revise that. Go over it again.
Revise that. That means change it.
I'll go ahead and review it again.
Okay.
Or yeah.
All right.
So 5 rounds of Swiss, and it will be this first go around will not have any bans aside from the regular WizKids bans. So the 2 teams that win, there will be 20 cards eliminated from the 2 teams that win this round.
And just to clarify that, we are saying the one player who wins, they're 2 teams. There's been a couple of conversations I've had where people thought we were talking about, when we say 2 teams, in their head they were thinking
the top 2
players.
Or whatever.
No, it's the top 1 player. They're both of their teams.
Sounds like someone from the meeting wanted to cut it so deep. We should just cut all the cards from the top 8.
Top 8 all get banned.
Oh my god.
I'm all about that life.
In Golden, I might have might agree with you a little bit on that, but not in Modern.
We might have a new set by then, so it'll be fine.
What we recommend is
I don't think we will.
whatever cards you want to see banned, or whatever cards you don't like playing with, we recommend pushing that as much as possible so that they get banned.
Yep.
So that you don't have to worry about them for the other 2 tournaments that we're going to have.
Yep.
Outside of that, it's the normal 2-team takedown. You can't have the same card with the same name on both of your teams. If you're gonna have a card, or you can't have the same character or action and basic action with the same name on both of your teams. So if you're gonna have Resurrection on one team, you can't have it on the other. If you're gonna have Shriek, Sonic Beam, you can't. Or is that her name? Sonic?
Actually, Resurrection, there is a way you could have 2 of them.
That's a functional reprint. We need to put the kibosh on that.
WizKids has officially ruled on it. It is not.
That's so stupid, though.
However, Ryan, that version of Resurrection is not modern legal.
So there's not a new version of that Resurrection, so you can't use it.
Agreed.
Right.
I'm just saying,
You sneaky beaky.
Use, for example, Teamwork's been reprinted. You can't have the promo Teamwork and the new Teamwork from X-Men Forever on both teams.
As much as you may want to, you can't.
Yep.
So,
if
additionally,
the art is different, does not make it separate. So,
correct. Same card, same title. Doesn't matter if it's been a promo or an alternate art. You cannot share it on the same 2 teams.
Yeah.
So.
And then we do have a website posted. Ryan was a big hand in generating that website for us. Thank you very much, Ryan, for helping us out.
It was like this big.
Ryan was the hand that put that website together.
He helped us out a lot. So if you have any questions that we don't satisfy tonight, you can go to the link that is shared in the description and find out more information. We also have the rules lined out in a much better job than I just did about who starts the game, how turn orders picked, how teams are picked before the match, and whatnot, because I don't really want to go over that right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, we don't need to do a full 2-team takedown primer. The one other question that has come up a couple of times, I don't remember if we reviewed it last week or not, but Legacy does not mean living card game. This is a full modern. So anything that is modern legal is allowed in this event.
That's WizKids modern.
WizKids defines modern, on it. So again, if you go to crgr.rocks, we've got the rules up there posted across the top, or a link to the rules on the top there. And up, one of the very first things we do is we have a link to WizKids modern, rotation, and that will tell you everything you need to know, whether OP is allowed, what OP cards are allowed, what sets are allowed, anything like that. So
for sure. Sounds so official and legit with seeing it on the website and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming there. So
Yep.
Additionally, we do have some things. There is a revision in the fact that due to the recent rulings, the most recent rulings changes, Energy Field Global, as it has been errated.
Yes. We'd
So
already
if-
said that we were doing that
That's how we were
beforehand, but
doing
now
it.
it's
Yep.
official errata, and that errata will take place before go into effect before the tournament starts. So yes.
Official.
So now that it's not, I mean, yeah, I've forgotten that we went ahead and did that. We proactively rolled it, so.
Yeah.
We should do all the rules from now on. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Call us the hammer because we nailed it.
Or just
So
try to
I guess
like.
we could take that as a good segue to jump into recent rulings as well. That
Yeah, because
just
I'd
came
love
out.
to talk about those.
So let's cover what we just touched on. Energy Field. Energy Field has been officially ruled on with an errata.
You can't do that shenanigan thing that you guys were doing.
Yeah.
Not
So
anymore.
there, what it used to read as, and specifically the global, is what has been changed. Used to read global, pay mask, and spin one of your active character dice down one level, spin target character die up one level. The new text is global, pay mask, spin one of your character dice down a level to spin another target character die up a level. So main points on the differences on that is one, you do have to use two different characters, and it now targets on the second character. So any shenanigans you have that can modify targets can be had, and it doesn't have to be one of your character. It can be just another target character. So you can spin one of your opponents.
You Canadians and your shenanigans as long as you can. It's because of the Wizard of the North that you guys do the shenanigans longer.
That's true.
So, and Joe, I'll let you hit the next one here, since
Are you
I
gonna
know
talk about Boom
that's the
Boom?
one you've been waiting for.
Let you hit that. What are we talking about? Taking bong rips or something like that?
That Boom Boom?
What is the
What were you
boom
gonna talk
boom
about?
ruling? Did Joe fall off the face of the earth?
Did we lose Joe? We might have lost Joe.
All right.
Well, in lieu
Basically,
of
the ruling says that Boom Boom is giving the ability to the action die,
Mhm.
and so Black Widow doesn't affect it.
Yeah, so the specific question was the new promo Black Widow agent, reduces damage from opposing characters' abilities by 1. So the question is has been Boom Boom doing the extra damage, or is she giving it the action dice the other damage? And so it is officially ruled Boom Boom isn't dealing the damage. She's enabling the action die to deal the damage. Therefore, Black Widow isn't reducing the damage.
I think that's a good rule.
Bam. Official. It's just, I don't know why I'm doing that today.
I'm really glad they decided to clear that up, because that helps us avoid a couple of headaches and extra rulings to make during the tournament.
Yeah.
They also ruled that whenever you use Boom Boom's ability to do it, you have to go, I went Boom Boom. So, yeah.
I must have missed that one. Send me the link from WizKids on that
It's
one.
there. It's somewhere in the back.
Okay.
Stretch.
I think that's straight from
Oh, my
PK.
God. Yeah. Yep. And you have to go like this. Like that.
Even if the camera's not on you.
Even if it's not on.
The one thing we didn't touch, but the chat is blowing up a little bit on with the Energy Field ruling, is the fact that this is the first time that they've made a ruling, but they said that they're not going to enforce it for an event coming up, specifically the Canadian Nationals coming up, because the ruling is so close to when the event is to be held. So they're officially holding off on that ruling until after Canadian Nationals, but they posted it now. So I find it interesting that they went ahead and posted it beforehand and had to put the whole extra blurb in there as to it doesn't apply here, but it will after that, instead of just saying, you know what, let's just post it after the event and be done.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I know, WizKids, what can you say? But
I mean, I think they knew that this event was going on. So like, well, we got to help CRG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, what's to say? Why didn't they just post it on the 12th or whatever day it goes live? The 14th is it that it actually goes live? You know,
I don't know.
Yeah, effective July 12th. So why didn't they just post it on the 12th and just be done with it?
It's a good question.
For
It's one of
WizKids
the-
reasons?
Yeah.
One of the many mysteries in this world.
Mystery of the world.
Mhm.
Eighth wonder of the world.
WizKids.
All right. So, any more stuff
But we
about the
love 'em.
rules?
That
I think those were the two big ones, right?
Yeah,
were the
and it's
two
a
that they
step in the right
posted.
direction.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Anytime
cool. It's been a while since we got a ruling on anything, right?
Yeah.
Aside from the bans, but yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the previous ruling was just to be like, hey, you guys have been playing this wrong. The card says this. You got to follow it. And that was really it. I forget what it was.
Mhm.
Oh, it was Spot.
Oh yeah.
When they told
Well-
people you couldn't draw 3 cards if you're
It was
drawing
a
dice.
clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a clarification spot. The last previous ruling was with Domino, actually.
Okay. Yeah, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anytime they clarify to make it universal and all that, I wish it was on the card, but I mean, they're doing the best they can, and I appreciate that. So, good on you. All right. So next thing we're gonna cover, I don't know. Robert, do you want to talk about the pre-release event that I drug the team down?
Okay. So this past Saturday, Chris and I went to the pre-release event for Magic the Gathering's M20. What's the M stand for, by the way?
Magic 20.
Magic
It's the
20.
20th release.
Magic
It's
2020.
their 20th
Or
core
20
set.
Yeah, 20th course.
2020. 20th core set. Yeah, that's what it's correct.
Yeah.
So we went there. I was under the impression that it was a normal sealed event,
Mm-mm.
and like 2 minutes before they signed the teams, I'm sorry, the matches, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're playing two-headed giant." And I'm like, "What the hell is that? I've never heard of this." So it's basically 2 against 2. You're a team versus the other team, and I had already built my deck. Chris had built his, and we we actually forgot to sign up. We thought the guy signed us up, so we got the buy, so we got to win.
Yeah. He said he was
Yes.
signing us up. I swear to God.
Yeah, I heard that
Probably
too.
why you guys got the buy is because he made the clerical error.
Yeah, well, that's exactly why, because we weren't on the list, so it
Hey,
was
man.
an even number.
We
or the
almost
odd
lost
ones
the
out.
buy.
Yeah, we barely squeaked that one out. So
Yeah.
So instead of going 1-4, you guys would have been going 0-4. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, we were gonna win 3 because we only played 3 rounds.
Because there wasn't enough teams there.
Yeah, so we barely beat the bye, got away with our lives there. And the next guys that we played were like,
They've been
Oh my
playing Magic
God.
since the start of Magic the Gathering. And we're like,
Yeah.
hey, we've been playing since November. Good to play.
and he's like, yeah, this guy here, he's the captain of the team. And I was like, oh my god, this guy's calling him a captain. We're gonna get our ass kicked.
And
So-
we did.
And we did. And then we found out in the middle of that match, oh yeah, you can combine your packs together and build 2 teams. Like
Yeah,
what?
it's-
I didn't know that. So Chris was running an elemental sort of team. I was just running just like weenies, flyers,
Control.
counters, controls, and controls with an S. I mean, oh wow, controls. And so, Chris was running elementals. I was trying to do control. It didn't really work out. We got stomped by those guys, and
They had
then we
2
tried to
mythic
do some-
Chandras.
Yeah, there was nothing we could do about that.
Yeah.
Chris tried. He tried really hard. He got rid of one of them by
Yeah.
making him discard it, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, well, that's funny. I got like 5." So
He did not seem too upset when I pulled the Chandra from his hand. He was like, oh, okay, I'll just throw it away. I was like,
yeah,
all right. That's a little disappointing that you're not that upset about losing your best card in your deck. But
yeah.
okay.
Chris was like, he doesn't seem very upset about it. Something's going on. He's gonna- So we tried it. We tried to play our game. We got close, but they ended up destroying us.
We didn't
then
get
our-
close at all.
Yeah, we did some damage. We did like a few points of damage, I think.
Yeah.
We didn't get skunked, so
No.
Then once we realized we could share cards, we realized that neither one of us got anything good, so we couldn't really sideboard all that great. And the next guys that we played, I felt like we had a better chance against that team. It just didn't work out in the end.
They had so much more control and destruction than what we had.
Yeah.
Because I had a way to discard cards to put them into my graveyard, and then have an explosive turn where I have the biggest creature that I have, but I can't cast it at all, ever. I had a way to bring it out on board, and if it swung, it was going to be able to do 14 damage in one turn. Right when I did that, murder. It was out there for like half a turn.
Yep. That was our bomb, and it did not work out for us. Overall, though, I had a good time. I'd be interested to try doing that again at some point in time.
Maybe with a better teammate.
I don't know. We ended up buying a box. Better cards, yeah. We ended up buying a box also of the 2020 or 20 M20. I don't know what you're calling. I'm gonna call it 2020 just because I like saying 2020.
M20.
And so 2020. And so yeah, we got a bunch of cards. That's the first box that I've ever bought at Magic.
Pizza? Well, over pizza.
We did a little side event at the pizzeria that over there by Sci-Fi, and I beat Chris again. I think I'm like 5-0 against you in like sealed events.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think you need to have a better teammate when we play stuff like that. So
yeah.
So.
But overall, it was a good time, man. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to do more, but it was a busy weekend. So
yeah.
Maybe next time.
Oh, it's a good way to stay in shape. So.
Yes, exactly.
Got one out.
Got it out there.
All right.
Got it out there.
So yeah, that was fun. I don't know. I really like Two-Headed Giant. Just for the simple fact, now that I know how to play it, I think we could do better.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
And plus, me and you don't get mad at each other for playing stuff that's stupid. So
yeah.
So, all right.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say it works better whenever you guys actually are aware of what Two-Headed Giant is before you go into the event.
Nah, blind Two-Headed Giant's so good.
Yeah. It's like you didn't know you had that
like
that twin growing inside of you the whole time.
Two-headed giant.
Yeah. What is that thing called on South Park? The nurse that has the fetus on her head. Conjoined fetus. Yeah, the conjoined. You didn't know you had that conjoined twin in you, and the whole time it was Chris in there. It's like to the side of my brain in my face. So yeah, that's what it was like.
Yeah,
It was cool.
Yeah, I think we had a better chance in the last game, but it was fun. Plus
the draws weren't.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think I just need to get better at building blind teams. Honestly, I don't think I'm that good at drafting. So, or sealed.
You suck.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, against me, you suck. Whenever we play in the thing and I play against everybody, I suck. So.
It's because I don't want to play the mean, oppressive cards, and you have no problem at all.
That's what you're supposed to do.
You're there to win.
Yeah.
I'm there to play and have fun, and then Robert's just playing all kinds of mean cards. He's like, yeah, I'm going to counter that. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to play this. Oh, I'm going to counter that too. So
it just... I love the 40 card deck, dude. I feel like I get more of what I need when I need it, and it just felt every time Chris did something, I had an answer for it. I was like, "Are you gonna play that? Well, I'm gonna destroy it. That's fine. You're gonna play that? Well, now it's -2/-2, and it's dead. Are you gonna do that? Well, counter." It was just great. It's fantastic.
And I finally get something to stick on the board that he doesn't destroy, and he just sends it right back to my hand, sending something else back to his hand to make me discard something when he plays it again. That's the worst.
It was a good time, guys.
And then he's laughing like a little girl in the pizza place.
Like that the whole time.
Yeah. So
even the little girls were like, "What the hell's wrong with that guy?"
So
man, that guy's giving us all a bad name.
Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Jesus Christ, I hate.
All right, Forrest.
So, what did you guys want to talk about now? That's probably going to take up a lot of the time. Was it Spider-Man?
No, we don't have to talk about spoilers for Spider-Man. I don't think anyone's seen it yet, so I don't want to ruin it. I know Mel saw it. I've seen it. I don't know if anyone else has seen it.
You know,
So
I don't care about
the only
spoilers.
thing I know about Spider-Man on this one is it's officially the first Marvel MCU movie that my son has gotten to see in the theaters before me.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah,
You're
his
slacking,
best
dude.
friend had his best friend's birthday. They took him and my son to go see it at the movie theater. So
That's cool.
Nice.
I want to go. They didn't invite me.
I was.
you're not out in Mesquite, man. I'm sorry.
Damn it, you're right. So far,
Was there Punch and Pie?
I was under the impression to be punching pie.
Excuse us, I'm going home.
Fantastic. But yeah, I don't want to say too much about Spider-Man. I feel like there hasn't been enough time. I wanted to talk about it. I've been trying to talk about it, and the only people that I've talked to about it didn't like it. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So
You know, I don't care about spoilers.
I know you don't.
I do.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. I'll just say that it was amazing. It was spectacular. It was friendly neighborhood. I don't know what other titles are there of Spider-Man.
I think
Web. It was Web of. I don't know.
you are the only one that said that it's good to pretty good, or amazing.
It's really good. I didn't want to
It's-
oversell it. I loved it.
It's better than the first one.
It is better than the first one for sure.
I will say that.
Mhm.
There's some things in there that they choose to pursue that I'm like, it's questionable at best.
Mhm.
I thought it
We
was
can't
great.
talk about it until next week, Rob.
Yeah, I know.
Give everybody the appropriate time to work through it.
I'm still not gonna watch it. So,
I'm gonna go see it again.
and then Stranger Things that came out, and
Oh, I already finished
I
it.
already burned through that one.
I haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
I killed it on
I'm
Sunday
on
night.
episode 6 right now. My wife's watching it without me.
I was very disappointed
Ah.
with the previous season.
You know,
Three?
I will
Season
say
two. Are we
this was
two?
a good season.
Mm.
You
Season
know,
3. Mhm.
You know, none
was
of them are
definitely
ever
better
the
than-
first season, but it was good. You know?
I've heard it at the very beginning. They fluctuate and like leave plot lines behind once they get to episode 4.
No, that is not the case.
With the character
really.
development of the kids. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. I'm gonna try to watch it. I got Netflix, might as well. I guess. I don't know.
Do it, dude. It's so good.
I've been
I really
watching-
enjoyed it. I like shows that take place in like time periods like that, like where I grew up, and I see them doing the things that I did when I was a kid. So
Do the
that's
thing.
awesome. Yeah, that's why I really liked the first 2 seasons, because like all that stuff they're doing, that's what I used to do when I was a kid in the 80s.
Yeah.
There was another show that took place in the 90s that got canceled. It was about that little kid. He was in the AV club or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, man, but it was really good too. It only had 1 season.
I think I know the season you're talking about.
I have to look it
I
up.
don't remember the name of it though. It took place over in or no, what
It was like a small town.
Small
It was a
town over in England or something.
No, it was somewhere in the United States. The mom moves to the small town to get away from the ex-husband, and the kid's just like kind of awkward, and he joins the AV club and stuff like that, and you have to put on a play or something. I don't remember.
No, not the one I'm thinking of.
Sounds like a very weird, stupid show.
No, it's actually really good, dude.
I've been watching Legion.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, Legion is really
I
good.
need to catch up on that now that you know they've decided to continue it. You know.
Yeah, they continued in a big way, and the last few episodes have been, I don't know. I basically watched it all the episodes right now. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, the show is called Everything Sucks. That's what it was
I
called.
I didn't
remember
really
that one.
like that.
You didn't like it?
Even,
Oh,
not
dude.
even for the nostalgia factor, bro.
Dude, I like
it was
that show. It was good.
mediocre, and I think what really upset me on it was the fact that like within 2 weeks of it being released, they already announced that they were canceling it and not going to do any future seasons.
Yeah, that was weak.
What network was it
I
on?
really liked it. It was on Netflix.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, Netflix is having to cut back on so many things because they're losing like their big subscription things. Friends.
You're seeing so many originals come out.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they're losing all the Disney library here at some point,
and all the NBC library.
Yep.
So Netflix is going to be having some trouble the next year or two.
Yeah.
Man.
They'll
They still
they'll,
got
they'll be
anime.
okay.
Yeah, I think Netflix will probably be fine. I think all of these new streaming services that are popping up are probably going to drop off. Like DC Universe is barely making it. You know, they're talking
Young
about
Justice. They've been upsetting me on that one. That they've when they started the second half of season 3, they came out with 3 episodes, and now they're back to 1 episode a week.
Boo.
Well,
that's probably why, so they can get people to keep their subscription.
Right.
And this is just me. I canceled my HBO Go because I only watched Game of Thrones on HBO. There's no reason for me to keep it, so I canceled it.
Yeah.
There's nothing on there really that I want to watch.
Did you at least finish Chernobyl before that happened?
I have it for another 2 weeks, I think, and I might try to squeeze that in. That show looked good. That one and the one with Zendaya. I wanted to see that one.
Yep.
I'd
I'd
probably
highly
never get
recommend
to it.
those. Well, the one with Zendaya has a lot of graphic stuff though, so I just word of warning on that.
That's fine. I lived it, bro. I'm just playing it. No, it's fine. I'll check it out. I do have it for 2 more weeks, so that's done. I mean, all my shows that I've been watching are kind of done already. Like One Punch Man is done. That's the only thing I was watching on Hulu.
Yeah.
The animes that I watched, they already wrapped up for the season.
Yeah.
So
the Rising of the Shield Heroes done.
Yep. The Slime show. The time was reincarnated as Slime wrapped up.
What did you think about the last episode of One Punch Man? It was.
Oh, it was good.
It was. I thought it was awesome.
It was good, but I was like, he didn't do anything, so I was like, man.
Still can't bring myself to watch that show, bro.
Yeah, my brother says he hates the art on it, and I'm like, dude, it looks just like the first one to me. So I don't see the problem. Yeah. So I don't know. It's good though. I enjoyed it.
They're trying to develop the other characters besides just Saitama and Cyborg a little bit. So
the thing was that Saitama, like, there's still a lot of development left with him, and I feel like they just kind of dropped it off to like a glacial pace.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand why they're doing that because they developed him a lot in the first season, and they didn't develop any other character for the most part in the first season at all.
And the first season kind of just
it was about
flew
him.
By also, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was really fast. I don't know if they were just like, we got to get this whole story out, and that might be all of the story, all there is to it. But like, we got to squeeze this out, and they did it in 12 episodes.
When you look at the manga, it was just all he was doing was putting tropes out there, like the heavy anime tropes and all that stuff. So that's what he was doing.
But I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was good. I watched the Aziz stand up, the new one that he put out. That one was actually really good. I was surprised. I don't know where people stand on Aziz because of his stuff that happened last year, the year before, whatever, however long it was. But I thought it was great. His other specials that he had were kind of like all in your face, like, I'm Tom from Parks and Rec, that character, like treat yourself, that sort of thing. He was like way more low key, more humbled and everything. He was just talking about appreciating life and all the things that he has because it could be gone in an instant, sort of thing. Yeah. So it was a real casual show, but it was hilarious, dude. I would recommend checking out that comedy special if you get a chance.
And check out any of the Chappelle ones that are on there. Those are gold.
Those are hilarious. Yeah. If you haven't watched those by now, something's wrong with you. Yeah. You should have watched them day one. Those are good though.
The best comedian out. Period.
Ever.
Well, you've got the old Eddie Izzards up there, so Dress to Kill and whatnot are up there too. Those are classic.
Yeah, but I'm referring to he's the best comedian going right now, Dave Chappelle, and it's crazy. Me and my wife were just talking about this last night. He's a comedian that other comedians are like, yeah, he's really funny, and audiences really like him too. Usually,
he's what?
Huh?
What did you say?
You cut out.
Oh, sorry. He's a comedian that basically he's a comedian, and audiences love him too. They get his jokes like comedians do too. Right. Usually, it's like either audiences really love the comedians, or just comedians like the like the guy, and that's it.
Yeah.
But he has both of them that like That's
Well,
crazy.
and then there's the likes of Bill Hicks, who's
Mhm.
the only comedian in history to go up on the funniest person thing after he's died continually.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there's actually a great documentary up there on his life and everything up on Netflix. It's absolutely fantastic if you haven't watched it. If you've never listened to Bill Hicks,
He's
do
amazing.
so. I mean, the stuff is at least 20 years old and still stands up today.
Really?
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
do that.
He's super good. And he pushed the boundaries of what people would consider okay to tell as a joke.
The easiest way I can describe it to people is: do you remember Dennis Leary's "I'm an Asshole"?
Yeah, I just don't think
Dennis
it does
Leary's
it as
also...
much of a justice, though.
Well, no, but to give you an idea, that was throwaway material that Leary stole from Bill Hicks.
Oh, well, I mean, he stole a lot of his act, too.
Yeah, no. I'm saying that entire first thing was basically stolen from Bill Hicks of stuff that Hicks threw on the floor as, no, I don't want to go. Nah. The rest of Hicks stuff is in that vein, but amplified.
Yeah. Yeah, and Hicks liked to do comedy that he thought was thought-provoking and funny. Or thought-provoking,
Kicked off Johnny Carson's lifetime ban off of Letterman. I mean...
yeah, he was his own guy. He didn't care.
Mm.
Oh, man. And George Carlin, of course.
Yep.
But George Carlin was a nice guy.
Yes. Well, Bill Hicks actually was a very nice guy until he became his character. Once he was on stage and was his character, hell had no fury, you know.
And a lot of people couldn't separate it. And hell, sometimes he couldn't separate it from himself. Later, when he was about to die,
he want to separate it at times.
Yeah.
I don't know who Mike Birbiglia is.
He's a comedian that was like
Nick Birbiglia. Yeah, he's pretty popular.
He was like rising like 4 or 5 years ago, and he's a pretty good comedian. Oh wow!
Did y'all see Umbrella Academy? I
No.
think Jody said you saw it, right?
It was great.
Shit, I'm the only one here.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought you said yeah. Okay.
No.
Right. Well, and then for a while there was question of whether or not it was going to get renewed for a season 2.
I think that still is a question.
It's still a question. It has not officially been renewed, but the one major stumbling block was 2 of the actors that they were having contract disputes with. Oh. And so they were able to settle those, but they still haven't officially renewed the show.
What, does Disney own it? Because they just kill everything.
Who is it? The issue is the material. So the second book that he wrote, the guy who did the first one and the one that they based most of the material off of, that just goes in a very weird direction, and I don't think they want that for the show. I think they want to continue where they left off and ended in that cliffhanger ending for a reason. And if you look at where the second book goes through, or the second series goes to, it goes completely in a different direction. Just because they exercise their creative license. Yeah, and now they have to kind of write some weirder season 2. That's why I'm kind of hesitant about it.
Well, and then there's the huge push. Everyone wants a second season of Good Omens, and it's one of those. No, you finished that one. You're good.
I still haven't watched that.
I don't know. I think they did do a teaser for it though.
No, there's
they did a teaser for it.
This Good Omen just came out. Why would they have
Good
a teaser?
Omen just came out.
I've already watched all of that.
Yeah, there's 6 episosts on it. But I mean,
how
there's
good
no
were
more
the omens
material.
in it, though?
I mean, it was just the one book.
Jesus Christ!
I don't think
such a dumb
that.
question, Robert.
That was a dad joke. He's not even a dad, and he's throwing dad jokes.
Man, what's wrong with that?
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! All right, well that was awkward. I'm sorry. I just heard what Robert said. It just threw me off.
How
Well, one
good
thing
were
to
the
look forward
omens?
to is there's a rumor. I don't know if it's like
Oh.
cemented. I've seen some posters online. Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series coming to Netflix.
I thought that was a
What?
meme.
A Mimi?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't
There
know.
was
I heard that they've got the rights to it, but they haven't done anything with it yet.
They have the rights to it.
Interesting.
They actually did an interview, or there was an interview with the creators, the two creators of the original show, and they said yes, they're willing to do something with it, but they didn't know if it was going to be a retread or if it was going to be the missing years where they went to go find what's his face's mom.
Did they confirm that M. Night was not going to be associated with it anymore?
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's the twist. They're actually looking for M. Night in the movie,
Yeah.
in the show. So
And
To
They
beat
find
the
him
ever living
somewhere.
crap out of him.
yeah.
Unpopular opinion. I didn't really hate the live action show.
I
or
didn't
movie.
hate it, but I mean, it really
So.
it didn't hold a candle compared to the TV anime.
It wasn't going to.
I
I
tried to
wasn't
watch.
expecting it to.
I tried to watch the anime. I didn't like it.
Really?
The reason why a lot of people were so offended is because the PR for it, the lead up to it, all the promos and stuff, this had 100% backing from Nickelodeon, from the creators. Everybody was like, yeah, M. Night Shyamalan really knows what he's doing. He's remaining true to the source material. And then you see the finished product and you're like, this guy just messed it all up. Because for them touting that it was going to be true to the source material, in some ways it was, but in other ways it was just not good at all.
Yeah.
Even for an adaptation, even for a live action adaptation, which we've seen a lot recently from Netflix that are bad, but this one still takes the cake. Like, I will watch the Death Note live action adaptation before I watch the Last Airbender from Shyamalan.
Yeah, but Netflix actually didn't do the Death Note one. That was an overseas studio, and Netflix just got the rights to do it for US.
Oh, I haven't even seen that yet.
Oh, it's
painful.
Have you ever
Is
had
it
food
that
poisoning?
bad? Yeah.
Yeah, it's worse than that.
It's the best poisoning.
Oh my god. Like, they completely changed the way the characters are for the most part. Like, they
Really?
don't. Yeah, like,
I watched the anime. I never finished season or the first season of Death Note or whatever it is.
the
I
series.
probably get there's 2 seasons, right?
There's 3.
3
Oh,
seasons.
but
Okay, well
yeah.
the first season I got probably like 18 to 20 episodes in and I just lost interest. I was like, it wasn't good to me. Sorry. I know I'm probably in the minority, but it's just like meh.
So the main character, Light, his story arc kind of wraps up halfway through season 2, and then they continue it through to season 3 with some other characters, another cast of characters, and so you kind of like, until that point, you were gonna like you were saying.
Yeah. Yo. I don't know, man. It was okay. The art was good, I guess, but I just lost interest. I want to see this show though.
Speaking of other disappointments, Black Mirror though.
Black Mirror.
Yeah, I haven't. I've only done season 1 on that. I haven't gotten anything past it.
I've watched parts of it because my wife wanted me to watch it, and I got partway through some of it, and I was just like, all right, yeah, it's like a wannabe, what you call it? What's that show on CB? Outer Limits and stuff like that. And I'm like, I get it. I don't think they do it as well.
Bandersnatch got a huge amount of rave review, but it was all because it was one of the first Netflix shows that allowed you to choose your own path. But you don't choose your own path. It's you get 10 seconds of new footage, and then it steers it right back to the same story for the next path.
Hey Ryan, could you watch your language? This is a family show.
Okay.
Bandersnatch. Oh man.
Yeah, but I had more interest and enjoyment out of the Minecraft show that Netflix did, doing the same technology that released at the same time. I've enjoyed that way more than the Black Mirror episode. There you go.
You
I didn't
also
say.
enjoy Minecraft, so let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Actually, no.
here.
I've only maybe played 10 hours of Minecraft in my life.
That's 10 more
10
hours than
hours.
me.
Yeah, that's
I've
10 more
played
hours than
with
me.
Legos. I hear it's the same thing.
I mean, you don't even have to be a fan of Minecraft to enjoy the show on it. It's geared towards kids, and I was watching it with my kids, But like I said, it was the way they were doing the interaction, and you make your choice, and you see the outcome of it. But then again, you see how after we watched it 2 or 3 times, and they would make different choices. I saw how it all just always steered right back down the same storyline, you know. And so I'm like, okay, you really don't have a choice on this. You just get a new little cutscene, and it steers it back to the same plot point.
Well, I mean, they had 3 different endings, technically 4.
No, and yeah, and they do it some, but again, it's with the amount of choices that they gave you, they could have had easily 100 different endings.
Yeah, I got lost. So my wife and I did it. We went through the whole experiment, and I already knew how to get the secret ending, but I was having her go through it because it was her first time doing it. So I was just like, all right, whichever one you want to choose. And then we got lost halfway through because we couldn't remember what the previous choices were.
Right.
There's like they
Did
make
you put in the
they
cheat code?
make so many decisions, but Ryan is right. Ultimately, it leads you down 2 paths: the path of success or failure. Like that's with, and then the secret ending is, it's all just a joke. It's all just
It's all just a
like
dream.
they break the 4th wall right in front of you. That's the secret ending. But it's ridiculously hard to get those. You have to remember exactly what you chose, and there's like at least 27 choices that you have to make.
Jeez,
There's
that's too much work.
websites dedicated to flowcharts of all the different decisions and stuff like that you could make through it. But again, it all comes back to effectively 99% of you are just going to get 2 endings.
You know what? It's like the wise Sweet Brown once said, "Ain't nobody got time for that." So I'm not gonna watch it ever. So
Nice that Robert gets his advice from internet memes.
yep. If you're not me, you ain't
Leroy
living.
Jenkins.
Oh,
Yep.
man. So,
Put it in reverse, Terry. Oh
my-
Lord, that's my favorite one.
What is that?
You've never seen Put It in? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to find it. I'll do it after
Pretty
this
good.
stream. Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of relevant. And 4th of July was like last week. He's lighting fireworks. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
All right.
I'll send it in the group email.
All right.
You know?
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that one's hilarious. I work with a guy named Terry, so I always tell him to put it in reverse. So, no, it's just me. Sorry, guys. It's a me thing. It's a me thing.
Me too. Movement.
No, too soon, dude.
Oh,
Too soon. It's
sorry.
2019. Can't joke like that.
Oh. Whoa, bro. You can't talk to women, bro.
Yeah. Didn't you see the commercial?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. This is a joke.
It's
It's a joke.
Little much.
Little much. So we got 10 minutes left in the hour, guys. Do we want to recap the things that we got going on for anyone that joined late? Coming up on the 20th, right, Joe? For the
20th is Dice Masters open house.
open house. That's
It's
what
in
we're
Dallas.
Meet the teacher
where?
night.
It's at Boardwalk Games in Dallas.
All right.
All right. That was the
Well, for
extensive review.
upcoming dates for 2-team Takedown, we've got the deadline for signups on the 19th, with the matchups being announced on the 22nd. So you've still got a little bit of time to get your teams tested and submitted. So please do so. I know Joe and Rob, both you guys said you guys were wanting to jump in on it. So Chris, I believe you and me will be staying out on this leg to facilitate the the tournament.
Yeah. I'm probably going to
So-
be just staying out on all of them just to make sure that I'm consistently just doing it. And if one of you guys wants to switch out at one point, you can. But
I most likely will be staying out of it as well. Just be my schedule has not been kind to me lately. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saving my schedule for my matchup with MOD. So
Oh, but you're training right now.
yep, I'm training. I'm doing the whole Rocky Balboa thing.
There we go.
Are you taking like 5-second videos every day just to clip it into like 20 minutes of a montage?
No.
We need a
no.
montage.
No, I'm not going into the montage mode. Sorry,
Aw.
not yet.
Oh.
I think
feel
we
like
should
it's not
record a
even worth it then.
montage. Guys, we
my
should record a
goodness.
montage.
I did
What
fail
happened?
to mention. So,
Get it out there.
exciting news.
Oh.
Solicits are confirmed for the D&D set.
Did we
When?
actually get a date for it? I know they changed the month, but I didn't see a date on it yet.
We got the month, and that's good enough for me. I'm super excited.
Yeah, no.
What
so
is the month? When is it?
It's August.
August.
I thought it was September. I thought it.
No, yeah, you're right. It was changed from August to September.
Yeah, it was
my bad.
So much misinformation going on here, guys.
But yeah,
Disinformation campaign here.
They pushed back WWE again, so WWE is now after the D&D set.
You know what that means? It means MOD is just running. That's all
Yep.
they're doing. They're the ones that got to push
they're
back.
calling up. They're calling up Jimmy. Jimmy, man, hold it back. Man.
Push back.
We can't do it. We can't do it.
Go up against that Ryan guy, man. He's too much.
Do whatever you can. Delay the product, man.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah, brother.
Undertaker.
I'm super excited
Oh my
excited
god.
for the new set to come out.
I am too. It looks.
Oh no, the D&D sets have always been my favorite. So yeah, no, I'm so stoked about that one.
Yeah. And those are those draft packs or is that a campaign box?
That one's gonna be a campaign box with team packs.
It's gonna be so awesome.
D&D is the best to draft.
I know. That's why I want some.
That's why
draft
I
packs.
still have 3 gravity feeds sitting here. A Battle for Farron. Why we have at least 6 display packs of TOA up at docks.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all saving them?
I might try to convince somebody to bring those to the open house as well.
I don't think docs will allow you to take them. I don't know.
Convince somebody to pay them, or to pay for them and bring them down.
Well,
convince someone to pay for them.
I can go on a street corner somewhat, but I don't know if I'll make enough in that time.
If he'll sell them to me at cost, it's a maybe for me.
I think.
It's a maybe.
Oh,
for
I'm
me
sorry,
right now.
I forgot about that. That the new set is. That's what everybody's kind of getting excited for. Is September is right around the corner, and so.
Yeah.
It's almost here. Oh my gosh.
And also I believe in September we're supposed to be having Worlds in Memphis.
Oh.
I think what they're probably gonna do is they're probably gonna officially release the product probably a week and a half or 2 weeks before Worlds, kind of like they did with rotation. What was that?
Thor? Are you thinking Thor?
Yeah. Which set was
Thor
just
was
released?
the set. Thor was the set that they actually released. They allowed for drafting at the event, and it was its official release. So it wasn't eligible. I honestly hope they don't do this. They don't do it as a release. Just make it legal right before Worlds.
But they did that with the last set.
Yeah, they did it with Warhammer 40K, didn't they?
They have a pattern.
Right. Warhammer 40K was the one that they made. They brought sets on site so people could buy them.
Yeah, and then it was released 2 or 3 weeks after.
Yeah. So I hope they don't do that because it makes team building and brewing and testing a lot harder when you've got a set that's coming out that you don't have all the cards for. Even if they've all been spoiled, it's not always the easiest to build a team. So,
Speaking of, how's everybody looking for a road trip to Memphis?
Road trip. When is it?
The second weekend or the first weekend?
Of what? September?
December?
September.
Hold on. I got my QBRs.
So 14, 15, correct? So 13th.
It's a maybe
It's
for
a
me.
7-hour road trip for us.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. I need to talk to the wife.
I would like to go to Memphis.
I most likely would have to be able to leave right after work on like Friday, honestly. And then we'd have
If
to.
I go, my wife has to go with me because Memphis is her favorite place in the world. So, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What about
that
Disney?
means I have to find babysitters and whatnot for the kiddos, and you know.
Disneyland's not the favorite place on Earth.
No.
Harry
Memphis
Potter
Blues
World
is her favorite place.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, I've drug on time.
No, it's good.
I just had one quick thing. You know, last week we did announce our Patreon site, and so I'd like to remind people to please check the link below for our link to Patreon to help support our prizing for future events and whatnot. And I would like to thank Mike and Jocelyn for becoming our first two patrons.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, they both joined at the same day, so I can't tell who was the
Who
very
was first?
first one. So I will give both of you the credit for being our first ones. So
That's awesome. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's gonna help us out with future tournaments. So
yep,
for sure.
In fact, we will be having doing a live streamed Commander game with our first Patreon.
Our patron.
With our
one
first
of them,
patron,
yes.
Mike.
Yep.
Yeah. Robert's already shaking in his boots for that one.
I am, because I'm so bad at freaking Commander.
Nah, bro.
I always come in second place because I'm not a threat, so they wait at the end.
Yeah,
That's
the
at least
best
that's
place
my
to be
theory.
in, though.
I mean, if you're ranking, yeah, but really, is that
Watching
the
the
best place?
fireworks go off. Nah, man, you got a front row seat to the fireworks and the Clash of the Titans.
I guess.
I get on too much of an explosive opening that it's like I'm always seen as like, hey, Chris is we need to kill Chris.
Chris is doing things.
He's got like 10 mana on turn 3. What are we doing here?
That Anala deck that I've got for you, Rob, you're gonna love it. It's so much fun.
Dude, that card is ridiculous, and I'm ready for it. My body is ready.
I also showed him the
Kess
card. I think he would like that too.
Yes.
Yeah, but it just goes in a separate deck. Like we're doing wizard tribal, not spells tribal.
She's a wizard.
She's a wizard, Harry.
But she doesn't have as much wizard support on her as Anala does.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I think I'm going elemental or
Elemental Heroes from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Or bear tribal.
Yeah, you would go bear.
Yeah. What tribal are you thinking about doing, Joe? I'm just gonna skip on past that, Robert.
So I'm running green white Selvala elves.
Selvala?
Elf ball. Ugh.
Elf ball.
I don't even know what that is.
He's gonna build up elves to a point where it's like we can't deal with it anymore, and that's it.
Selvala has a nice little ability. It's called Parlay, where you tap her. Each player reveals the top card of their library, and I gain, or whoever is the controller of Selvala gains 1 green mana and 1 life for each non-land card revealed that way, and then everybody draws those cards.
Ah.
She is a white and green. She's a 2/4 elf scout, legendary creature, and she is freaking amazing. Put her together with an untapping ability like Umbra Mantle or Sword of the Pyrunes.
Or Paradox. Oh.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon. I could literally spend an hour and a half talking about the ways I disagree with the latest bannings.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert especially.
That's for another time. That's for another time.
That's my Paradox engine got banned face.
I will say this.
Right
Huge
after I
shout
bought
out. I will say this huge shout out to the community, to the Commander community, for all of the ways that they've been talking about it, specifically coming from the competitive Commander group. And the reason why they call themselves competitive Commander is because they deal with more high-powered, efficiently tuned decks. And so when you're looking at a card like Paradox Engine, combo piece in a meta where it's very possible to have 7 mana on turn 2 without playing more than 1 land.
Yeah.
So for them, getting Paradox Engine banned was a huge blow to the meta, respectively. And more so, they're actually looking at the new document that Sheldon Menery put out recently, which is the Commander. Anyway, it's the Commander philosophy document, and it's a good, well thought out, well put together document. But there are some holes in it that I find a lot of discrepancies with, and it's like to formalize this format, the more it hurts what they're doing, what they're trying to do, the scope of what they're trying to do, because you're looking at a game that's been around for 25 plus years with all sorts of styles. I mean, the original set, Alpha and Beta, had some of the most egregious cards that would deny you of resources and would deny you the ability to play the game altogether. And that's from the creator, Richard Garfield.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with people who try to then take that and distill it into these cards are good, these cards are bad, whenever no one has not everybody shares the same play style.
Yeah.
I'm the combo player out of our group. Does that mean that does that mean that you guys are going to enjoy watching me combo off every single game? Not. So does that mean that Robert needs to start adapting to picking up static orbs and, grinding the game to a screeching halt to where nobody gets to play? No,
I put
that's
a
not what that
dampening
means.
sphere in the game, and then it's always killed the turn after it's put into play to try to deal with you.
by the combo player. It's killed by the combo player. But
Yeah.
my point is like, should you always have to do that? No, because then it just makes the game unfun for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you're putting denial pieces in your deck without a way to win around them, then you're screwing the game over for yourself and everyone and effectively ruining the experience, because that's what Commander is to me, is an experience. It doesn't matter to me who wins or who loses. What matters is the experience we have whenever that happens.
Yeah.
Some people get enjoyment off of comboing off on turn 3, 4, or 5. That's cool. There's a specific group of people that have gotten together and formulated a community for that and is a part of a larger community. So I feel like the rules committee, while they mean well, their execution was not very well done. Even though they brought in people from the Commander Advisory Group who obviously had varying opinions. Some of them even blatantly were like, yes, in that meeting, we didn't want Paradox Engine unbanned. We actually tried to get other stuff like Flash.
Yeah.
I mean, Flash to me is a worse card than Paradox Engine because it sets up Protean Hulk wins as early as turn 0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, to me, it's ridiculous to think that, oh wow, we've lost all of the people watching.
Way to go,
we
Joe.
We had a hiccup. I had to refresh YouTube. And
okay. My point is that I don't agree with the bannings, and if we really had that much of a hard time with it, we would come together and be like, all right, well, we can leave Iona banned, but Paradox Engine is fine because we have specific ways to deal with it in our group, in our play group.
Yeah. I don't think Paradox Engine is like ultimately broken. You have to build to make it broken. And that's other cards with it. And yes, it can be egregious when someone has the perfect plays and gets the perfect draws. Yeah, it's gonna feel bad because they got the draw. They got exactly what they needed, and it wouldn't matter if it had Paradox Engine or Isokon Scepter. Dramatic Reversal. It doesn't matter. They're going to win with either one of those, and one of them's cheaper.
Because they built their deck specifically to do that thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're already... So, like, a lot of people have pointed out, if a player is actively choosing to put Paradox Engine in their deck, then the deck is already degenerate enough to that point. Like, it already has...
I don't know.
What's up?
I don't think it's as degenerate as some things that I have seen in play. Like 0 cost mana rocks. Those are kind of degenerate, honestly.
You're talking about Mana Crypt and
Vault.
Mana Vault and all that?
Yeah. Like when
Grim
we
Monolith.
and when we played at
Magic Fest.
Magic Fest.
Yeah.
Everyone at the table had all those explosive mana cards in the playgroup that I was playing in. I didn't have it, and one of the guys said, "Oh, you poor soul," and then proceeded to just tie the game for everyone. I thought it was awesome that I basically came in first, even though I didn't do anything, but it was kind of just funny. But everyone had those cards, and I didn't think they should be banned. I was like, damn, I need to not play with these guys if they have these ridiculous cards, and I can't. There's no way for me to get those cards. It's not.
I mean, ultimately, it's a choice.
Yeah.
Like, you can make that choice. You can say, all right, this table, they're running stuff that is obviously not fun for me, so I'm just going to go, or that's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and not play with them. Now, it's different if that's your regular group. Then you need to sit down and have a conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like we no longer allow, even though it's in one of the videos, we no longer allow infinite combos, specifically because that's what I build towards.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't want to
What
have
a
every
jerk.
single one of our videos streamed or recorded with me just comboing off. Even the Selvala deck, I can put a stop on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
We
I
should
do
just
want
do
to.
no combos.
What's that?
We should just do no combos.
I mean, with Selvala, with Elf Ball period, the point is to generate enough mana to make all your small little mana dorks big dudes and swing, turn them sideways.
Yeah.
That's what Elf Ball in effect is. So I don't have to have infinite combos to win the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like with your Anala deck, yeah, there's a combo in there, and you can take it to infinite, but you're also winning the game via combat damage. You're not winning the game via silly Paradox Engine shenanigans.
I love silly Paradox Engine shenanigans, though.
Yeah, I myself
Silly
build.
Paradox.
So I have a Protean Hulk Flash deck. I have an Isochron Scepter deck, and I have another Isochron Scepter deck. One of those Isochron Scepter decks was running Paradox Engine. It was Joy Red Cheerios. So it's like, yes, I was running those things. I chose to take Paradox Engine out because at that point is whenever I started playing with you guys, and I was like, Dramatic Scepter is far enough.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it. I think if you build correctly and granted you're wasting 2 cards for a specific combo and you got to have those in your hand at the same time. But I think Dramatic Reversal Isochron Scepter is basically the same thing. You just got to make sure you have blue mana. So in non-blue mana decks, yeah, you're going to suffer.
Like me.
No, you play blue decks a lot. Your wizard decks and then your deck that you're going to build for the tribal wizards, you're going to be able to play blue. And Dramatic Reversal is pretty cheap. Isochron Scepter is completely cheap compared to what Paradox Engine was at one point. I think Isochron Scepter spiked since.
Yeah, it has spiked. It's up to 20. It was 12 to 14.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go trade in my Sword of Steel and Sinew.
You already did that.
Get my other one.
All right, but anyway, rant over on my part. There are people who have put it together a lot better than me.
Yeah. Commander's Quarters did a good one about it.
Yes. Oh yeah, I loved his video. Make sure y'all watch that. It's a very good approach, and actually, he summarized exactly how I feel about the whole situation. And trying to do good, you do worse.
And he's not a combo player. He's a guy that makes budget decks.
Yeah. He's a guy that makes budget decks. He doesn't always play the budget decks that he makes, and that was one of the points that he made in the video, was the fact that he just likes to build decks, and so he puts these deck techs out. But he was on an episode of the Spike Feeders. He brought his budget-tuned deck to a game of the Spike Feeders, and on that game, the recorded game that they played, he won out of nowhere. Everybody still had a great experience with that,
Yeah.
and nobody was left sour from that. And so it's just like, if that's possible, then we don't need to be proactively banning cards that are unfun for some people, okay for others,
Yeah.
and indifferent for the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after I trade in cards to go get it.
I'm saying just hold on to it, because a lot of people in the competitive competitive EDH community have been
A
like,
lot of just EDH people, period, have been vocal and yelling.
Oh.
not even that, just a lot of them are like, hey, can we talk about this? Because I do feel like even though they have the commander advisory group, they still didn't get a larger sampling than just a vocal minority that were like, this card just wins out of nowhere, it's unfair.
Yeah.
See, I don't feel like it wins out of nowhere.
There's
That's a setup for it.
Yeah.
like there's things like I understand like people complaining about one particular card and whenever it goes off it can go off, but you can remove the card.
Mhm.
You destroy it's an artifact, right? You just destroy an artifact.
Remove the player. Remove the artifact by killing the player.
That too.
Well,
I
there's
mean,
that, but I mean the easier way is getting rid of the artifact, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's so, yeah, everybody, if it's a prevalent thing in your play group, in your meta at your local game store, what are you going to do? You're going to adapt. And that doesn't mean that you don't need to have fun and the rest of the players don't need to have fun. That just means you put 2 to 3 extra removal spells for that specific thing.
And that's also I can see their point. Now I have to save. It's just like Dice Masters. I have to save a certain amount of spots just to
Yeah.
take care of one thing. So it takes away from my team. Which yeah, you probably should make spots for that anyways. If you really want to be competitive and stuff like that. But if you're just trying to have a good time, I hate building for that stuff. I hate having to put blankers on my team and removal. I just want to play my team and have fun, and I get it. It's part of it. You want to win, blah blah blah. But at the same time, I see the point. Like you can get rid of it, man. There's 100 cards in your deck. Come on.
I mean, the thing is, saving spots to remove the specific things. In every game where you play someone or someone, like, I'm not going to say competitive, because if you just play anyone in any game, they're going to try to do things to keep you from doing anything to stop them. And
Mhm.
if they don't have things to counteract what you're going to do to stop them from comboing off and doing, they're going to lose. So it's going to be a tick-tock as the playgroup goes. And that's in any game, not just Magic, not just Dice Masters, anything.
Tiddlywinks, whatever.
Amen. Yeah. Competitive Tiddlywink 2002, right here.
Pog Championship
Pog Championship
2000.
So I don't feel like, don't get me wrong, when Joe takes 20 minutes for one turn, it's very frustrating, and I'm bitching the whole entire time. But it's just because I don't understand that, yeah, he's just gonna win, and I think that it's just a normal turn. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, I just want to play. All right, yeah, come on. And then he's like, and you're dead. All right, yeah, okay, cool. I'm dead. That's cool.
You mean I
fine.
sat here for 30 minutes waiting to die? Like,
But it's not. It's
Thanks.
interesting to see the combos. I really do like seeing them. On Moto, it's a little bit slow and ridiculous, but in real life, Joe's just going back and forth, and he's explaining it to us as he's going.
it's like Rain Man.
Yeah. On Moto, you have to actually focus and make sure you don't mess it up. Otherwise, Moto will just have all the trouble that you've gone through and just wash it away.
Funny.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two things about that. Is that one, after it happens to you the first time, what are you gonna do about that, Chris? You're gonna run Dampening Spirit. You're gonna run
Mm-hmm.
ways to get rid of me doing that, or to stop me from doing that, or ways to just get rid of me more effectively. So,
Yeah.
so you kind of evolve. It's an evolution more so than it is a deterrent, because what you're doing, instead of putting like Naturalize, you know that I can respond to the combo at instant speed, so instead you're gonna put in Frozen Grip, which has split second, which means you can't, no other player can play spells or abilities while
Mm-hmm.
that's on the stack. So you're gonna play your Crozen Grip targeting my Paradox engine. I can't do anything to stop it, right? So it's this play counterplay. It's like this chess game in a larger scenario where the same play group is gonna play the same decks, but the decks are supposed to over time, because that's a representation of the players evolving. So they put better removal, they put better situational cards. So it
So
goes from
I would say
what
go
refined.
ahead.
what you're
Refined.
really saying is get good, bro. Get
Not
good.
in
That's what
not
you're
in such
saying.
a not in such a bad way. It's just like when you look at it, not even necessarily like a tune deck, but an average deck should have enough removal pieces
For sure.
to ensure that you're going to go off when you need to, or you're going to win when you need to, or you're going to stop another player from winning or going off when they need to. That's part of the game intrinsically. That's part of the game's design.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Dice Masters. You know, there's in every set there's a counter to whatever the most popular strategy was or is in set or outside of set.
Yeah.
That's a part of the game's design and function. Like there's that you can't avoid that, and you certainly can't try to enforce it in your own special way by putting these how well intended they are. You just can't do it that way. You'll come across as like forcing this narrative on these people who just want to play a game casually or competitively.
And as much
sure.
as Robert hates it, that's when you also bring in politics to just, well, this person always wins. Let's work together, especially when all of a sudden someone has like 30 mana on the board and they are not tapped on any of it and they're about to just do something. It's pretty much known that, hey, we need to all go after them unless someone puts something like that gives them a bunch of birds in the air stupidly, but hey, whatever. I may be talking about myself on that one.
Gotcha.
All right. But I mean, there's just political and threat assessment. That's really that's on any game. What are your thoughts on that, Ryan?
I don't know much about any of that.
But competitive play, which
Yeah.
is Dice Masters has a competitive scene. You've competed well in it.
Yeah.
You adapt though, don't you?
You can adapt to a point. There at a certain point, either errata and bans do have to happen to keep the meta from going stale. And Magic does have an advantage of a fixed release schedule. So you always know, what is it, every 3 or 4 months, there's something new is potentially going to come out that may help counter whatever the current meta is. So you have that built-in mechanism there to keep from a stale meta.
That's true.
But if it ever gets to the point that they're like, even if we make any counter to this engine or whatever, we're and everyone's just having to play to counter that, maybe it is better for us to remove that to make the field open again.
Yeah.
I know we all looked at everyone wanted to see Yanti banned first, but they banned Cube first. And a lot of people were like, well, no, I mean, Yanti's the problem. It's one of those, no, Yanti was just the best use with Cube, but you get rid of Yanti, something else, King Black Bolt, whatever, there's something else is going to come up and it's going to be there. So they took what they thought was going to be the one part of the combo and could be used for any of these other combos that may be coming up and maybe in their future pipelines, because you have to remember they know what cards are going to be in sets probably 2 sets in advance.
That's debatable, but yeah.
If they're any good at their job, they're working on the next set that's being released, after what's being released.
Yeah.
And so they know we didn't make anything in this last set, and we probably don't have anything coming up in the next set that we're already working on. That means we're looking at 9 months of that being a dominant force in the meta. And so a ban or an errata really is the only options that they have at that point. and usually it's easier to ban something than it is to errata it, because not everyone's gonna remember the errata text, and they're gonna try to go with what's on the card. So it's easier to ban it and just say no, you can't play it.
Yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying, but
I get what you're laying down.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know those specific cards. I don't know the mechanics. I don't know Magic. Yeah, I'm just speaking from a, if I were making a TCG, and whatnot, those would be my thoughts going into why would I ban something, like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good perspective from someone that doesn't know about the situation at all to really bring that in. I think that it does kind of bring some clarity to it a little bit why they would do that. I don't know the percentage of Paradox Engine decks that there were before the ban, but it was quite a lot.
Only because specifically of the competitive Commander community.
I don't know. Every time I played someone at anywhere, they had Paradox Engine in that bad boy.
That bad
I
boy.
mean,
but
it wasn't that big in our meta, but
Yeah. But I don't know.
I mean, in a game as diverse and as large as Magic, if it's showing up in at least two-digit, double-digit percentages of competitive, that's impacting the meta pretty heavily. You know, so if it's showing up in 15% of your matches, or 15% of the competitive level matches, that's a pretty impactful card across the board. If it's getting above 30%, now this is something that is massive.
Yeah,
Like
but
Shriek.
there's a lot of cards in Magic that, especially in Commander, that just it gets up there. A lot of the cards that are good.
Yeah, but I mean, from what I'm gathering, I'm talking like win con level cards. You know, if it's part of a win condition on that many number of teams,
Yeah.
not a support card, not something to help trigger it or cycle through to get to it faster, but
But
if it's a
but that is a support card.
see, I don't know
Yeah,
what the card is. I don't, but I'm just
it
saying.
facilitates big wins, but it's not the big win itself. It's an
Okay.
artifact that sits out there. I'll tell you what it basically does. Whenever you cast a spell, it untaps all your permanents except for lands. And so like things that produce mana that aren't lands, you get to untap
Artifacts,
them.
things like that, right?
Yeah. So as you cast spells, you keep going like that. So it itself is not a win con, but it facilitates
But
easier to get to that.
it's effectively a cosmic cube style part. It itself is not the win con, but it is enabling you to get any other win con quickly and early in the game. You know,
It's like
so,
it's kind of like that rare Black Widow from Guardians. Whenever you do, what is it called? The thing where you can attack, and if they don't block
infiltrate.
it, if you do an infiltrate damage, it does that extra one little thing. It's kind of like that. It's a support thing, but I can see having played it for the first time ever in a Commander game. I didn't know how it worked,
Mhm.
but I can see how it can be useful if you have cards to play. I didn't have cards to play,
And you know what the hell you're
but-
doing with it.
yeah, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but yeah, it could be ridiculous.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely not the win condition, but it helps you get there really fast.
Or get you pretty quickly to just having no cards in hand.
Having no cards in hand, just like me.
on the scale of like egregious cards, a lot of people agree that the more damaging are Flash first, because not only does it enable combo wins with Protean Hulk, but any creature that has or when dies abilities will automatically get to trigger from just that one spell. And you can just put these huge creatures that have these amazing abilities in and win you the game, like Academy Rector or Arena Rector for Planeswalkers. By turn 1 or turn 2 or even turn 0, if you have ways to produce mana by exiling cards out of your hand, you have the ability to bring in like a Nicol Bolas Planeswalker, something that automatically starts eating away at people's hands by having all of your opponents exile 2 cards of their. Could you imagine having to exile the 2 cards out of your 7-card hand that you started with at the beginning of the game? that is really oppressive. You're able to do that with one card, one instant spell that costs 2 mana. Or you're able to flash Academy Rector, get Omniscience, and never have to pay mana to cast your spells for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I know because I've done it. I've done it multiple times. Is it satisfying for me to win on turn 3? Yes. Is it satisfying
Joe's not
for
gonna
everybody
lie.
else? Is it satisfying for everybody else? No. It is not.
No.
It's not satisfying to get you set up and have your 1 to 4 mana by turn 3, and then some dude just comes in and plays one spell and wins the game off of that one spell. Paradox Engine doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Not knowing anything about what's the meta and nothing about any of the cards. If I were asked to put a bet down as to why I think they banned the card, I would suspect that they have something else in the works, in the pipeline, that they look at and go, you know what, that with this, what we're about to come out with is fucking ridiculous. And
didn't something come out like that?
So this, Ryan, to give you context, the Commander is a casual format done outside of it has its own separate
I understand
rules
what Commander
committee.
is. I know what Commander is. Yeah.
But they have their own
Wizards of the
rules.
Coast doesn't have to do anything with it. Like, it's all run by the players. It's a support that has its own support system.
But still, his same statement stands. They probably looked at it, saw something was coming out in their rules committee, and said, "Okay, this is broken."
But the rules committee is not Wizards of the Coast, though. It's not them.
Not employed by them. It doesn't have anything to do with them. A lot of times they don't even know what's being printed because they've had to make bans before based off of what was being printed. They made this ban.
What is that card that came out that does the same thing Paradox Engine does whenever something... Oh, no, Paradox untaps. Never mind. I'm thinking of triggering twice. Disregard my entire argument.
Okay.
I mean, not knowing that the rules committee was not Wizards of the Coast, that to me that seems completely foreign. That your rules committee is not, part of it. But I guess you're talking the rules committee for Commander only, not.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so
correct.
I mean, they
have a tough job because they have to regulate these cards that are created by Wizards of the Coast for standard rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly modern rotation. So they are designing, Wizards of the Coast is actively designing archetypes that will fit and or dominate whatever the standard meta is or the modern meta is at that time.
Right.
And they're making their own separate bans, or they're building cards to kind of shift that meta. Well, that automatically trickles down to Commander and either makes it more powerful or makes it more oppressive.
Right.
Either way, like it gives it a shot in the arm, or it euthanizes it, and it's just like they have the rules committee has to act as a third party that shapes this really diverse format, and the decisions that they make are their own, not Wizards of the Coast.
Right.
Yeah, it's rough for them, honestly.
We'll just defer to Joe for all that.
Yeah.
He is the expert. The resident expert.
Yeah. I'm no expert by any other means.
I think, honestly, the ban list could be a 2-hour discussion with
probably
the things on it. So, and then the thing that got unbanned was Painter
Servant.
Yeah, Painter Servant.
So Painter Servant. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that they ban one thing, but then they unban another. Painter Servant makes it to where all cards outside of the game as well as inside of the game are one color. So you play this 2-mana artifact creature, and you determine that all spells, all cards are going to be red, and then you specifically have a card in your hand that's a white card that says destroy all red permanents.
Mm-hmm. Or you have something to hose a specific color.
Counter target red spell, or bounce all red non-land permanents. Like, that to me screams a lot more oppressive and a lot more powerful than Paradox Engine.
Yeah, I think it was on the ban list for a reason.
It was on the ban list for a reason because they were afraid of what it could do potentially with other cards at the time, like Millstone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Grindstone, which has an ability that says you put the top 2 cards. Your opponent puts the top 2 cards of their library. If they share a color, continue this process until you flip 2 cards that don't share a color. So
always
you
share a
have
color.
Painter Servant, and you. By the way, Grindstone costs 1, and its activated ability costs 3. So you could set this combo up as early as turn 2 if you have mana rocks.
And it's quite easy. They don't even have to be colored mana rocks.
And they're both artifacts that are colorless to cast. So not only do you not have to have a color to cast these, not have to have a color to activate them, all you need to do is just have those 2 cards in play.
Yeah. And it does have a thing that you have to tap it to do it to knock out one person. But Isochron Scepter, Dramatic Reversal, you basically untap it and do it again.
Or Voltaic Key, or anything that lets you, Galvanic Key, like anything that lets you untap permanence is going to be helpful there in that situation. But the earliest you can do it, knock out the biggest threat. Meanwhile, everybody is on their early turns trying to get set up or trying to find a way to deal with what you're doing, and you just knock them out in order of priority.
And so you're basically going to be knocking out the blue player, most likely, or the red.
Or if you are the blue player.
Yeah.
Anyway, to me, just, I'm going to leave it there because we've already gone on long enough. This is an abnormally large...
Yeah, we're on a 30-minute tangent.
Yeah, for sure.
Apologize, everyone. But for those non-Dice Masters players, that's your little treat.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, again, just to recap, we have the open house July 20th. We have legacy tournament signups are due by the 19th. Your teams need to be submitted by the 19th.
Yeah, your teams need to be submitted. You can still sign up before then, so there's no pressure on that, but teams are going to be due on the 19th.
Yep. And go see Spider-Man. Moral of the story. Cool. So that's going to wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Be sure to like and subscribe. You can also help support us via Patreon. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join our conversations on Discord. And as always, thanks for hanging out.
And don't forget our website, crgr.rocks.
crgr.rocks.
Woohoo!